Jason Butcher turns the boys into rock stars. This week on Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hey, yeah, yo. Here's a story about 20 years ago. 3 bros who grew up in Baltimore to the beach show. Every summer they had to go before they got married with kids. Now they all grown. Long trips to New York and Toronto. Playing beer pong with Captain Morgan's. Free throws. And if you don't know, now you know. Coming in hot. Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back to another titillating episode of Jim Joe Steve Show, where me and my buddies sit around and argue about who was late today. First up,
the person who was late, Steve.
Next,
what's up? I'm Jim.
And I'm Joe, and we have ourselves another guest today.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row, because we ourselves are starting to bore each other. With us today, Jason Butcher. Musician Jason Butcher. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It
Absolutely.
only took us, what were we talking about, 6 months?
Yeah, at least 6 months.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've only tried to do this, about 6 times?
And every time on the thread, I would have to say, fucking Joe. Or fucking Steve.
Fucking Joe. Right.
It wasn't me.
It's never Jim. Never Jim.
It's rarely. It's actually, in this particular
and
instance,
when it is Jim, we pick him up, right?
Yeah.
I'll just
Pick
put
him
you
up.
guys down. I will throw you guys under the bus.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely. I did not want to do it here tonight.
I'll tell you what.
I did. Joe cut my power. Is what happened.
I felt a little bit emasculated when I pulled up, and I was the only one in a car.
Without a truck.
Yes. I was like, oh, how about this?
There are like 3 decent sized trucks too. It's none of them are small.
And then a Honda Civic.
You have a Civic? I think you have an Accord.
A Honda Accord. Never mind. I don't even know what I have.
All right, Jason. Well, welcome to the show again. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get here today, other than by your truck?
In the truck. Jim and I haven't seen each other for 20 years or 22. I don't know, whatever.
How do you
it
know
is,
Jim?
Elementary, middle school. Our dads were
really?
friends. Played some sports together. Rode skateboards.
All right.
Skinny dipped in his pool.
Oh, we did.
You see? I was wondering if you were going to remember that.
He did now. He's like, there's ecstasy in his face.
The good old days.
He's like, God, I'm glad he remembered that.
The first time I went over your house, and we were probably 12, 10,
Something like
I don't
that,
know.
yeah.
And you were like, do you want to see my drum set? And I was like, yeah, let's see the drum set. And we had to go down in your basement, and you had this, I don't know, 9-piece drum set up in your parents' laundry room.
Yep.
Man, your parents supported your music career for a long time.
I was going to say that because you had to walk around the drum set to do some laundry.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it took up 75% of the laundry room.
Damn.
So he goes back there and he just starts just wailing on these drums for like 5 minutes. And I was both motivated and then crushed at the same time because I was like, damn, that sounds pretty good. But then at the same time, you crushed my dreams from ever becoming any type of musician because I'm like, I'm never going to be as good as this 12-year-old is now. So it's all your fault, Jason, that I've never been the front man that I should have been.
Which one of you's older?
Jim is.
Jim?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How long have you been playing music?
I started playing drums, like, my parents got me a toy set when I was probably 4 or 5 or something, and then it just escalated from there.
Nice.
So-
And did you start on the drums?
I did, yeah. And I played on stage with my uncle's band for the first time at the California Inn, if any of you guys probably don't remember
Where's
that.
that?
That's before our time. But it was...
Was that a by the hour kind of joint?
So it was over near Fort Meade, like Severn or whatever, I guess.
yeah.
But anyway, I was like 6 years old, and
No kidding.
yeah, played old time rock and roll, like Bob
Nice.
Seger classic.
Awesome.
Now, were your parents in the music? Or
Musically inclined?
Yeah. Or was it,
I mean, my mom sings a little bit. It was mostly like my uncles. I had 2 uncles that were drummers, and an uncle that was a guitar player, and my mom sang. My dad dabbled in drums a little bit. But
he was a good carpenter.
Yes, he was. I remember putting siding on your dad's house and he yelling at me up on the ladder. You're gonna put that piece of siding up or make love to it.
I think it was your dad that shot himself in the leg with a nail gun. Yeah, at my house.
That's
and
tough.
then just finish the job.
Right. Put some duct tape on it, and yeah.
If you got a job to finish and it's not hospital worthy, you just you
Keep
fucking
going.
roll with it.
Yeah. I'm sure you've been in bands.
Yeah.
First band, high school bands, garage bands,
Were you
All
in
that.
band in school?
battle of the bands.
I was.
Like percussion?
Yeah. But oddly enough, I was always mad at my parents that they didn't make me play something else and like learn something else instead of just jerking off playing drums. Like, oh, this is easy. You know
Speaking
what I mean?
of jerking off, I
so I could
played
go
the
to band class. Wow.
Sad
Got that
trombone.
arm strength.
Yeah.
So you started with drums, and I mean, eventually you moved to guitar.
High school. I
Okay.
started playing, Nirvana and everything came out. It was like everybody was like, "Oh, I play guitar."
So what was your first band that you ever put together? What was the name of the first one?
It was called Jupiter Menace, and we played at Lansdowne, but you had already graduated.
Anybody that would be listening to the show or that will be listening to the
Possibly,
show?
yeah. Dave and Don Godwin and Jason Donahue.
Oh,
guys.
Jason Donahue, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jason and I still play together.
Okay.
Had a band Among Wolves.
That's the one you would post the most.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say you've sent us Among Wolves songs.
Yeah.
Like that one we did. We did actually win best band in Baltimore when I think it was like 2015 or 16 in like Baltimore Magazine, and they played us on WTMD and all that shit. So that was like the band that kind of, if there was any sort
That's
of
awesome.
That's
yeah,
really
it was
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
And we opened for some cool bands. Like we opened for Sean Lennon and the Hold Steady at the big concert in the park at Canton Waterfront Park. They do this first Thursdays
First
or whatever.
Thursdays. Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, it was cool.
So what happened with Among Wolves?
I went to rehab,
Okay.
and
That's a good thing.
Dude,
Congratulations on
it's-
getting out.
Right. That band was
Well, that was a long
so
time ago,
much-
right? Like-
yeah, that was in 2016.
Okay.
But that wasn't the end of my journey.
Oh.
But that band was we just drank and partied, and like, my whole thing when I started playing music was party first and worry about everything else later.
God,
so
that's exactly how, if I was in a band, that's
And
exactly how I would want to
right,
be. Maybe not now that I'm 40.
right. But when you're 20, it's like, dude, I just want to get fucked up and play music and meet women, and and that's what it was like. I mean, it's all about other, the music is a big part of it, but really, it was just about partying,
Yeah.
and just eventually that caught up with me. All the other guys are good, but like that band was so much just like drinking, and it was all drinking. We all just drank. Practice at gigs. I mean, there's an article in City Paper that it's like a joke. I mean, the show was reviewed really well, but the headline was "Too Drunk to Encore." We were the headlining band, and we played the last song, and everybody said, "One more song." And we were like, "Nah, dudes, we're too drunk," and walked off stage.
God, that's kind of a baller move.
That's what it. That's the kind of band we were.
But
And
do you think that was also, fortunately but unfortunately, what
that was part of the draw for sure?
Right.
Like,
That was kind of the success and like, the image of that band,
Yes.
and that's why certain people, would come out because
Oh,
it was
for
a little
sure.
more rowdy, and it
Yes.
was like, let's fucking
Absolutely.
get this.
Yep. It was just like bar, rock and roll, and with some like country in it, and drinking and drugs, and that's just that's what it was about.
Did you guys travel or?
Yeah, we did some touring, like just we go up to New York or Philly, or like go down south to like Richmond, or so we just like in the kind of mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, and I guess when you like travel, like if you go to New York or something like that, you're kind of like get more amped up, and you're like, oh, it's time to party even more because we're
Right,
we're
you're gonna put on a
somewhere else,
show,
right?
and
Yeah,
you're around strangers. None of your friends are there. You don't know anybody, so it's like
You got to ramp it up because
Right.
these people don't know you, and you got to,
Right.
make a
You deliver.
presentation. Yeah.
I can see how that can get out of control with things like, because if you think about it, like you just said that you go to somewhere and ramp it up because you don't know anybody, but then I feel like if you're at a show and then you're like, oh, I'm going to know everybody, all my people are there.
So you
I'm
got to
gonna
ramp
get-
it up.
Always a
So
good
you
reason.
always have a
Always a
reason to
good
ramp
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
exactly. It's like there's always a reason to party.
You ever play with Jay Roddy?
Yes, actually, we did a New Year's show with them at.
The guy who used to announce Price is Right.
Jay Roddy Walston in
Come
the business.
on down.
Yeah,
Yep.
when you said like rock and roll with little country, so that's exactly who I thought of.
Yeah, we played with them probably on 3 or 4 different times, but we did a big New Year show with them at Sound. Let's see it at that one club downtown.
Soundstage?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
We're
nice.
like right by the
And same,
power
that
plant.
was around like 2015, 16 were our like biggest year. I think it was 2016 that we did New Year's with them.
Nice.
I had this other band, Beard, that was really close to the same thing, but it was more kind of like the lyrics and everything were just completely ridiculous. It was like Thin Lizzy and like ZZ Top, like Ween, if you've ever heard of that. Ween before.
Chocolate
Like
and cheese.
funny,
Best
like
album cover
ridiculous. Yeah. And we did a New Year's with Beard did a New Year's with them at Ramshead on stage. So yeah, I know the Roddy guys really well.
ever. Nice. That's awesome.
Really.
Is that band still together in some form?
No, not at the moment. I mean, we're all cool. Like I had to get my shit together, and everybody has kids and everything. So it's like we might do a show at some point again.
So you've got this new album that's recently come out, Better Days. Did any of them help you on this album?
The drummer Don did some stuff on there, did some percussion and some drum stuff, but everybody else was a different cast of characters.
Now, whenever I see you out, like promoting some shows, you never promote it under the Better Days. Is that the title of the album?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to put my name on it because I'm just not. It's just not the type of person. I don't know. I don't like putting. I didn't want to call it like Jason Butcher Better Days, so I just called it that, and now that's kind of become like a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because that was
uh,
when I searched for it. You know, I knew what the album cover looked like. So when you're searching for it, and we'll put a link in the description of this podcast so you could just click on it.
Yeah.
But I know you're on iTunes because
Yeah.
that's where I found
And
it.
Spotify.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
you-
on all the like major
Okay.
platforms. Yeah.
If you can find Jim Joe Steve show, you can find Jason Butcher.
See,
Yeah.
there you go.
And it will now be on our Jim Joe Steve Show playlist on Spotify.
Oh, which we have, yeah, Jim. If you've enjoyed the music that we've played throughout our many episodes, Jim put together a Spotify playlist so you can go through and listen to all the hits.
Every song that we've ever mentioned on this podcast, good and bad, except Nickelback. I left Nickelback out.
Thank you.
But everything else
Good
will
call.
be on there.
So what made you decide to do like an album all by yourself?
So
Revenge.
I still got it.
Fuck
Now,
you
were
guys.
Now,
Right.
did Among
joke.
Wolves just kind of go their own separate ways, or did you?
Yeah, we
did
were
you
all-
kind of get the nudge because
No, it was like a mutual thing, and you know, when I was kind of taking care of my business, you know, everybody else kind of started doing other stuff anyway.
Yeah.
2019 was when everything, my life came to a head, and everything really completely fell apart. I needed to go away and get my shit together, and when I did, that's when I wrote all the songs for this album. So when I came home and like was really focused on living clean and sober, and I had these songs, and I hadn't written any songs in like 3 or 4 years, and now I had this whole batch of tunes that I wrote in like a week, sitting in my room at the facility, quote unquote, that I was in.
The hotel.
Right.
So what's the process like when you make a song? Like I guess if you're sitting in a room, or do you do the work? I always
Yeah,
wonder.
what comes first, the music or the lyrics?
For me, it's usually the music, because well, I don't know why, but that's just, you
So
know.
you just
some
have this
people
like
do that.
Yeah,
So.
the
you have this
music.
random lick that you've been kind of playing on the guitar,
Yeah,
and it just
and then
sticks
I'll
with you,
just-
and then you find like some
Made
words.
me so mad. Jim said lick. Like
Fucking word police.
Fucking riffs.
I know.
Fucking riffs.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so this
Fucking- I'm in
album has.
Saw Motley Crue yesterday.
Nice.
I was
Speaking of riffs,
Speaking of Motley Crue, and it kind of
you were there too, weren't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
My wife was there as well.
Oh, you saw.
Oh, you're at the show
No.
also?
But I mean, I saw I thought.
Yeah,
saw
they
him.
weren't there. My wife and I went. We had
Oh, you're
tickets.
talking about Jim was there. Okay, sorry.
I went to
was-
Jim's house.
Yeah, he went to my house, and I
'Cause
was.
you
And
thought
I
that-
also went to a concert because Steve thought we were doing this last night.
Okay,
But
now
so,
I understand.
So Motley Crue came on, and then Def Leppard closed the show. Motley Crue had that what you were kind of describing as like your first band. Image was first. You know, of course, Motley Crue has some great songs, but Vince Neil is not the vocalist, right? Like he's a front man, but he's
Right.
not a vocalist. The whole band is partying. Like that's why you go. So they went one first, and they were exactly who I thought they were. Like Vince can't hold a tune. He's out of shape. The best part of the show was the fact that you
They
listen
finished.
that you've been listening to their songs for
Right.
years. You
And
know
you're
what I
just
mean?
like,
And
yes.
he would start a note and then not finish it, and the crowd would finish it. You know what I mean? So
That's funny you say that because I saw a TikTok of him performing, and I thought they were like saying that it was like they showed it and he sucked, and
He's not-
he wasn't as great and as you would think
No.
or remember. And I was like, maybe that's just a one-off. But I guess
No,
not.
he's always been known as not a great vocalist, but he could hold a tune, especially in the studio when you have a little bit of help. But live, he's always kind of sucked. But so that was good in its own right. And then Def Leppard came on, and I've seen them once before, and they've been touring for 40 years or whatever. They were the exact opposite of Motley Crue. They were all in shape, and these dudes are like 60 years old. I mean, you could tell they still work out at 60. The show was so tight. I've never seen a band put on that good of a show. If they were tired of singing Pour Some Sugar on Me, you wouldn't know it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because they were all smiling. It sounded exactly like you would think, you hope, alive. I mean, it was a completely different
Right.
show.
Vibe.
And I'm glad that they went on second, because had Motley Crue had to follow a group that was that tight, would have made them look even
Shitty.
more like shit, you
Right.
know? So I guess the party group is only good for so long.
Yeah.
Versus
There's an
the-
expiration date on that.
Right, versus the group that's just technically sound and everyone is on the same page. And you can go for 40 years and still look and sound fucking great.
Yep.
So
If you think of Motley Crue, what's the first thing you think of? Like if you said Motley Crue, what's the first thing you think of, Joe?
Tommy Lee.
Song?
his big
dick.
tongue.
That's exactly what I would think of too. That's exactly what. I mean, what about you guys,
I mean,
Jason?
It would be heroin or big dick.
big dick heroin. Wow. Okay.
Jim?
Well, mine's a boring answer. Kickstart My Heart, because it's one of my favorite songs. I don't know.
Oh, the first song I think of is Hot for Teacher.
That would be Van Halen.
Oh yeah, good call.
You mean
right.
Girls, Girls, Girls?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one I meant.
They did have 3 gorgeous women on stage. That was
Yeah,
really
just-
helping the show. They were also backup singers, but they were probably one step up from a stripper.
Right.
In what manner? Like the amount of clothes
Yes,
they were wearing?
and
Okay.
the provocative way that they were dancing, on a pole.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
really? They were swinging around on a pole?
Of course, it's Motley Crue. They
Yeah. Some company.
Yeah, some old lady. Some old lady.
Joe has
An old
please
lady.
bring
Just,
her in on the podcast.
Hey, Joe, you always have old ladies stop by, right?
Right.
Unannounced.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
just
Granny's,
as a break in the
interracial
thing,
gangbang.
Jason just had a groupie come to the door. And knock. She
They
was
follow you.
96 years old, and she was also selling raffle tickets.
Joe stuck his head out. You were like, later, I'm busy.
I told you not tonight. So what was the day? Was there a day that you were like fuck it, or was there like you were forced to go into it? Like,
Yeah, there was. The last day that I used and did anything, I managed to. Just a long story short, within 24 hours, I lost my truck. Like I didn't know
Like you
where
couldn't
it was.
find it?
Yeah, I got fired from my job and arrested at work in this because I was like blacked out and out of this. And this was actually from what I thought was heroin, but it was like cut with some weird shit. And I just like was out to lunch. They found like all my shit in my office. Like it was just all out on the table.
oh, because you
And
just went out like bang, like
What kind of is it? Like an office job?
kind of, I was maintenance manager. So, I mean, I had like
Yeah,
an
run
office.
office,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was just like all on the table. And I'd come back later that night to try and get my truck because I thought it was there. I walked in and there was cops. Like I happened to walk in like as the dude.
You
like,
walked into your own arrest.
Yes. And I was
were
just
like,
like, I'm cool.
Case
Like,
closed.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Let's go. The next day I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, I'm done. This is it. I went away for a month and then I was in like a recovery house. Yeah. And then I went home. I don't know. Since then, I do like some meetings and shit, 12-step stuff, AA, NA, but I just really hit a point where I don't, God, whatever. I don't really think about it anymore. It doesn't.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, you
Good
guys
for
drink
you,
like
man.
whatever.
Good for you.
And kudos to Mrs. Butcher for
Dude.
putting up with all your bullshit.
Dude.
Did you guys have
She
kids
is
at that
a
time?
saint. Yeah, we had 3 at that time.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many do you have now?
4.
Wow.
She's the real rock star.
And she's
Yeah.
also in a band.
Yeah, she's a
she
a
also
singer.
does?
Yeah, excellent singer. She's much better than me.
You want to plug your wife's band because I think it's one of the best names. Is
Which one? The Belvederes?
Okay, maybe that one is. I know you sing it with your wife.
That one's not that good.
no, but the Betty White Stripes. Does your wife sing it? Doesn't your
No,
wife-
she doesn't sing in
Oh,
that
I
one.
thought she
No,
sung in that
mm-mm.
one time.
Oh.
I saw an
Okay,
advert.
so there was a
bit.
confusing thing. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was booked with that at the Fish Head, I think. 2 of those guys got COVID or something. This was like last year.
Right,
And
right.
so she came and like that whole band. So
Okay.
her and I have a band together called the LPs. A lot of duo stuff.
So her official band is the Belvederes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
awesome.
then you guys have
The
husband and
LPs,
wife. How's
I know,
that? Do you guys fight a lot? Because I know if I had a band with my wife, we would be just going at it. It just wouldn't happen.
Well, that's because
Well,
I mean,
neither
we
one
haven't,
of us can-
we haven't
can-
gotten to Nicole's episode yet, but that's because you're a piece of shit.
I'm a saint. I'm a
I listened to that episode and I'm a total fucking piece of shit. In so many ways.
Would your wife like to come on with her list?
We don't have enough time.
Is
But,
it after the Belvedere Hotel?
No.
Or Mr. Belvedere.
But and actually it's spelled Belle. Belvedere, like it's two female fronted.
Okay,
It's
nice.
like a little play on words.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Betty White Stripes. So is that still in existence?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And that's my band. That's like a bar band. You know, I do some of the tunes from here, and then we do like Tom Petty, Elvis Costello, like whatever, you know, a whole bunch
Right,
of
right.
The name
Just
reminds
fun
me.
shit.
The name reminds me of REO Speed Dealer. I always thought that was a good one.
That's great. I haven't heard that one.
Joe and I were going to start a band
Oh yeah,
called
it was a Steve Winwood cover band.
yeah, and we were going to call it Steve and the Windwoods.
the Woodwinds.
Oh, Steve and the Woodwinds. Yeah.
Nice.
The only issue is nobody can play an instrument.
Yeah, yeah. I get
Or
so much
sing.
stuff or sing. So when fuck, what was I going to say?
Oh, you asked me. So yeah, it's like being brother and sister, like being in a band together, because we're the first one to like. Because I'll be like, hey, I thought that sounded pretty good. She's like, yeah, well, you were fucking flat.
Oh, really? God, it must be so vicious like that.
or like, you know, I'll be like, I should be like, yeah, I thought, you know, we did pretty good with it. We just tried that new song and I thought that was pretty good. I'm like, yeah, if you didn't fucking miss the bridge.
But with that mindset, does it also make the sex weird afterwards?
It's like always like revenge.
Right. He's like, yeah, you fucking,
No, okay.
I'll
so
show you flat.
do you guys make it known that you guys are husband and wife, like from the jump, when you guys are out?
Usually. I
Okay,
mean, like,
okay,
we'll say something about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, if a woman started maybe show a little interest in you, or a guy like show a little. Does that ever happen? And is there, you guys take it in
It has-
stride, or is one of you get a little more bitter?
So, a funny story about that. One time I was playing the waterfront down in
Canton?
Fells Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is right before we got married. And we were like looking at venues, whatever. And we went to actually the Belvedere. And this chick that was the venue coordinator at the Belvedere. So I'm playing at the waterfront. And this chick walks up, fucking hammered. And she had like made a rose out of a napkin and like comes up on stage and like hands it to me and is like trying to like put her arm on my shoulder. And my wife comes around and is like, it's the fucking venue coordinator from the Belvedere that we had just seen that week. And she goes,
cow.
guess who's not getting our fucking wedding? And this chick fucking shit her pants. And she wrote it like an email and oh dude, it was great.
Did she realize it was you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, man, that's crazy.
awesome.
But like drunk and like, oh my, like started crying. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, right then and there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's
It
great.
got so weird and like, yeah, it was great. But my wife was like,
But your stock goes up.
bitch.
Your stock goes up when that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
because you're like
right.
someone's showing interest. So
Right,
you can
right.
be like,
Right.
I'm a front.
you better treat me right. 'Cause you see, I can get this crying drunk girl anytime I want.
Is it fun playing in a bar like that? Like, because I'm guessing you just play all night. Kind
Usually, I mean, you know, if the crowd's right and people are there, and I mean, you know how it is. You know, you're at the show.
No,
if-
we have
if
no
everybody's-
idea. That's
No, I mean, but if you're like in the crowd, and like everybody's having a good
Oh,
time,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
energy's
yeah.
there and everything,
Yes.
yeah, it's you know, I mean, I've said before, like you can have if you've got the right crowd and the right amount of people that are into it. I mean, you can have a crowd of 10, or you can have a crowd of 10,000. As a musician on stage, that feeling, like the
the rush.
yeah, is really, you know, I mean, they're pretty comparable. Like that feeling is the same.
Did you ever play the Brass Monkey?
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, nice.
I've had some shitty shows there.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, when I think of shitty show, shitty venue, I think of the Brass Monkey.
Do you think of Kip?
Dude, yes. You got, dude,
Kip,
fucking weirdo. I did some electrical work in this guy's house, and it was awkward.
You know the thing with Kip, right?
Well, that he's gay and likes young men.
Yes,
I did after that day. Yes.
He would
But I don't have the money to pay you. Can we settle this another way?
He would the Brass Monkey was. Oh, God,
Which-
we probably shouldn't say it.
Well, no, you say it. You already said it.
Which one of your friends did
None of
let?
them. But I know for a fact that like Kip at the Brass Monkey would let everybody. He would always allow underage drinking.
Yep.
And it was the point was to seduce young men.
Unsuspecting man.
Yeah.
Well, Lonnie at Sonar, was his name Lonnie?
Yeah, Lonnie, yeah.
And he had a thing for Schaefer.
Oh, he did have a thing for Schaefer. Yeah.
That's why Schaefer
That's
got
so
to
funny.
spin records at a club.
As soon as somebody says Brass Monkey, I always think of Kip.
Yeah.
I think of people playing music standing on top of like pallets, like wooden pallets.
Yeah. The stage was horrible.
Yeah.
I had an amp. So older amps, they have the reverb that makes like, the echoey sound. Old amps have springs in there, and like the sound runs through the springs, and that's how it gets that sound. But if they bounce around, the springs start to hit each other, and it makes this like this huge, like terrible sound. And like we were playing a show one night, and the stage was bouncing so much that like the springs and the reverb were like that's what's coming through like the whole system.
Yeah.
We had to stop like jumping on the stage, or either that or like
Turn it way down.
Yeah, it was So it was a shithole.
Did anybody ever tell you look like Bam Margera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many times.
Before he got old.
When he was still,
When he was still
You're doing
young
a
and
lot
cool.
better than Bam.
right.
What's the best show you ever played? The biggest. Let's say biggest.
The biggest was probably that first Thursday. I was at
Okay,
Canton Park.
okay.
I mean, that was a couple thousand
awesome.
people.
God, that must be so silly.
And the show that like where we got the Baltimore's best band thing that was live on the radio, and like there was a whole audience in the studio. That was probably one of the best.
That's pretty cool.
That was one of the best shows, I'd say. Worst shows. I've had a lot of worst shows over the years. So and most of them are just, I mean, in music too, like my life, I was usually fairly good at like being drunk or high as fuck, but being able to keep myself together enough to like, I mean, sure, there was like some wrong notes or whatever, but never like passed out on stage or fell over or fucking pissed on anybody or anything like that. But like,
Lost your truck at a show.
right. Lost my guitar. But when you're trying to come up, I mean, there's plenty of like shows where nobody shows up or
Yeah, I guess that's probably got to be the worst.
That's how we feel about comments and rankings on our podcast.
But probably the shows I get the most pissed off at or like feel like the worst about myself. I've done like acoustic gigs where it's just like, you're at a golf club or something and you're just background music and you're playing and you finish a song and it's just like people are still eating and they're like no response. Like those for me, like that is the ones that get under my skin the most and the ones where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, where did I make a wrong turn in life? Like, why am I doing this?
I've always had a question with that. So at a place like that where you're like the background thing, you should applaud, right? After every song, like that should be like
It's usually a
common courtesy.
yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like it's kind of weird. Like sometimes you'll go to
a place where it is true. Like it could be just a song coming out of the speakers, but it's a live person.
yes,
Right.
and I never know what to do. Like
It's It's an awkward thing too, I think, for
I feel like if there's actual live music and there's a notable, the song is
performance,
ended,
right?
Yeah, that there should be some acknowledgement. Now, obviously, if it's a black tie event, you're not going to be going crazy, but there should be some acknowledgement that you appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I always at Nordstrom, the guy who played the piano when he was finished, I was like, "That was fucking awesome, dude."
I stand on the top of the piano and clap.
With his ass cheeks.
I told him to play this place called the Brass Monkey and talk to Kip.
Let me clap them cheeks.
So who is, in your opinion, like a musician's musician? Like who may not get, or does get the right amount of credit, but that you would go, yeah, this person knows their shit.
Jack Johnson.
I don't know.
That motherfucker's got the life though, dude.
Oh,
Pro
yeah.
surfer and
yeah.
you know,
Grew up in Hawaii.
fucking televangelist, acoustic guitar player. No, I know he's not a televangelist. I don't know why that.
I was like this. Holy shit, he is.
That guy does
I don't
everything.
like him even more now.
You guys can all suck it.
But well, I've come to the realization over the last few years, even. I mean, most 90% of like artists and bands, when you get to that level, I mean, they've got some sort of talent, and if not, just a shitload of ambition, because it takes a lot of work and everything to get there. But I mean, and I'm not a huge fan, but like, and a lot of people do know this, but like John Mayer is a fucking monster
that guy
guitar
can
player.
rip.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I'm not huge. I mean, he's got some songs I like, but that dude, even if he was just a guitar player alone, would be one of the best. Like
he's
in
fronting
modern.
is he
He's
fronting
with
Grateful
Dead-
Dead?
Dead and Company right now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say John Mayer because I could go back in our group chat when we were talking about the album, and whether you like it or not, there's some John
Something
Mayer
that-
vibes.
Yeah, there's
a couple of
tune
these
in
songs.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What music influenced you growing up?
I do love not love all, but I mean, there's certain aspects of almost every genre of music that I really love, and that kind of comes through in here. There's like,
Well, yeah, that's on
there's some
Lady,
country,
Lady Fingers.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's
kind of
reminded
like
me
a
of
D'Angelo,
Jamiroquai.
like, or Jamiroquai, like R&B thing.
I've picked up some Jamiroquai.
That's my
on
favorite
that.
song. Yeah.
The first two songs reminded me of the Gin Blossoms, and I said that when you walked in the door. And
It's
I
like
love the
power
Gin
pop,
Blossoms.
guitar, rock. Yeah.
So another murder in this town. When I read the title, I thought it was going to be
Like
dark, and it reminded me of it had like a Guns N' Roses "Patience" with the whistling, and it was like a happy song. It kind of started off like it with a happy vibe, but the title is "Another Murder in This Town." So, what the hell was that about? Explain yourself, goddammit.
That's really just about like people that I know and like that have died, just addicts, and just if you read the lyrics from that, it's one of those like kind of juxtaposed songs. Like you said, it's happy and there's whistling, but the lyrics are pretty dark. Yeah.
If you think that like you're tired of whistling, I know a guy that plays the recorder that could probably cover that pretty well.
Is that you?
No.
Oh. Or one of your kids doing recorder in school?
And he stole it from him.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a album release party concert coming
Yes.
up
July 24th.
July 24th.
And
At
today
at
is
the good old Fish Head.
And today,
What is today,
ironically
Andy?
enough, is July 20th. So this Sunday at the Fishbowl in
Fish Head.
Fish Head
See, I'm an
Cantina?
old school
I know, it
guy.
was,
It used to
yeah.
be called the Fishbowl. So the
Right.
Fish Head Cantina in Arbutus. They
Keeping
still
it local.
consider that area Arbutus. I
It
know
is.
they've been dividing Arbutus down.
Fish
in
Head Cantina. What did that used to be?
the Fishbowl.
Oh, the Fish Bowl. Oh, you just said that.
Yeah.
Long time ago, like back in the I guess
Was it anything but in between? Or did it go from one to
I
the
don't
other?
know.
Okay. All right.
And that's on Benson Avenue.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm an Arbutus kid. but,
Yeah, you know.
So the Fish Head on Benson Avenue, and what time?
7.
7 o'clock.
Are you
And,
going to be selling the album there?
Yep.
It's
And
kind
actually, if I think I'm giving first 50 people free LPs, the vinyl.
Nice.
I was
Nice.
gonna ask you about that. Like, what? Because nowadays, like, people don't really like everything's like digital with stuff. What made you decide to do? Is it tough? Because I know there's a wait. Isn't there a wait to get vinyls done?
This record's been done for 2 years, but I didn't get the vinyls. It took 9 months to get the
Yeah, I
vinyls
heard
pressed
there's
and everything.
there's
yeah.
a huge backup because vinyls are like back into
So
back
right,
in-
so
back into
that's
pressing.
why I did the vinyl, just because people were either like digital or vinyl. I got the CDs made just because they were cheap and I can just give them away for free.
Right.
So, but you guys probably don't even have CD players.
What's
I
the
want
CD
my
player?
car.
You went, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and so a lot of people now don't even have them in their newer cars. Don't even
Yeah,
have
Yeah,
them.
they don't have it.
So what?
But-
So you got 7 songs on this Better Days album.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's your favorite?
All of them. You can't
No, I
ask that
think
question.
you could. I have a favorite episode of us.
What's your favorite kid?
Any given day it could change.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Depends on who's listening. that day.
Today, which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite to play? Because I mean, they're
There you go.
so
That's a
different
good one.
vibe.
What's a
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you really do have some rock songs. You got some poppy songs, and you got some like John
Kind of
Mayer's Sunday
folk country,
Afternoon with
like,
the
yeah.
lights
You
off,
have,
the
like,
windows
real-
open kind of
real
songs.
yeah, it is. It goes all over the place, which is kind of cool. So it kind of
It's also a
everybody.
curse too, because and I know for some people it's like you can't. There's not like a cohesive. I mean, there is like just in the sound, but in the music style, it's not like everything is
And
just
to them, I'd say, "Fuck you."
Right.
You know?
Fuck
This
you.
is my goddamn album. I'll put whatever songs I
yeah,
want.
exactly
on it.
right. I mean, I can't make it any different. You know what I mean? That's just I
So
didn't.
this has been done for 2 years.
Yeah, it came out in March. Wait, what year is it?
2022.
Fuck, I can't. Yeah.
We do record these in batches, but it is still 2022.
So okay, no. So I went in the studio 2 years ago. I went in July of 2020. It was released March of 2021. So it's been
Nice.
out for a year.
Okay.
Now, how long are you in the studio? Like when so you book some studio time, and you have your songs, and you know, I mean, pretty much these are all you, except for you got some hired guns on here, right? Mm-hmm. How long?
He's got the lingo down. He knows.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are.
Normal people, Jim.
Oh, okay. Well, we're in the business,
Right,
So,
right.
so anyway, how long does it take you to record on your part?
The meat and potatoes of it, like drums, bass, and kind of bass guitar, you know, like or just rhythm guitars, was 2 days, and then it was probably split up though, like another 2 or 3 days worth of like overdubs and vocals and more guitars and
Are the vocals last?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So you just build it up, one recording after another, and then they
Yep.
put it together, and then you come back and do the vocals. That's fucking awesome.
You'd think somebody who knew about the business so well already knew the answer to all those questions.
No, I knew the answer to all those questions.
Fuck. too.
Fucking
And I'm just
Jimmy
a dog.
Iovine over here.
It's for our listeners. How many times does somebody in the crowd yell "Freebird"?
Not as often as it used to be, but there's almost always somebody
At the
Yeah,
late after they
that
get
just-
drunk,
yeah.
you know, after
Uh-huh.
midnight. I mean, "Freebird."
or now it's like Wagon Wheel or Wonderwall or like
Wonder.
you know.
Anyway,
Wow, that's really
here's
Anyway,
Wonderwall.
bro.
Is it appropriate when a band's good to tell them
Make
tell
it,
them to turn
make it
it up.
louder.
to stand there in front of the stage like this, like pointing your finger and stuff like that? Is that acceptable?
Sure.
How often
I mean,
do you
if
like
you're
to get
into it.
high-fived?
Yeah, that's that. Like when you're playing, like a guy's up
Me
there.
personally, like I'm a people person, so I'm I mean, as
How
long
many-
as you're not getting in my like
How
personal
many, how many
space. or
high
anything.
fives is too many high fives?
Well, yeah, if you
from the same person.
yeah, I was gonna say if you got a dude coming up after every song, yeah, that would get a little
Oh,
little
no,
old.
multiple times during
During,
the song.
okay, that's-
multiple times during the song. Like never
While
puts
you're
the
trying to
hands
play,
down.
it's like,
right.
dude, I'm here.
All right, Steve's an asshole again.
You piece of shit.
Steve's a piece of
Piece
shit.
of shit.
All right, so at
your
the
wife was
Fish Head
right.
this
Yeah, I know.
Sunday, you'll be playing these 7 songs and
Yep, some
people
Among
just
Wolves
call out.
classics.
You ever do like somebody calling out a song and you're like, all right, fuck it, let's roll with that song.
If I know it, sure. Now I have a pretty from doing like those stupid bar gigs over the years. I have a pretty
But if you're listening,
pretty
you're
expansive.
planning on attending, let him play all of his music before you start screaming.
Yeah,
the
this will
songs
not
out.
be one of those gigs, unless you're unless you're such a fan and you want something off the album.
So can we throw you like a curveball here? Because I know on my bucket list is to sing with the band, and I think Steve's bucket
I've
list
always wanted to be a front man.
wants to be a front man. Can we throw you some fucking songs? And
Yeah.
can we just do Jim Joe Steve show karaoke but live band style? And
yeah, live guitar.
and see.
Remember, we
really
just have a guitar.
How much you?
How hard is it, really?
I think it's we're going to be the ones that have to figure that out.
I know.
So we can throw you some songs,
Yeah,
and if you know it, we can just jam right here,
we can sure try.
and then the winner will get to come on stage.
How do we pick a winner?
You pick a winner.
Well, you have to go put on your Motley Crue tights first
Oh,
and make
I
up.
got Motley Crue tights.
And I'll be singing the Motley Crue song "Hot for Teacher."
They're classic.
Right.
I am just gonna sing Def Leppard's "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Okay, so
We're gonna sing.
We'll get out the guitar.
hey, all right, I got a
MeUndies.
song. I got a song or two on mine, so I could probably throw one out. Steve, can you get a song?
Yeah, I got one.
Joe, you got one that you want to sing?
I could come up with something.
Joe, don't make it something weird and obscure that no one's
Do you know
heard.
Boz Skaggs?
I do. I don't. Yeah, the low down.
Well, I got a song because at a 4th of July party, someone actually told me what this song is about.
What is it about? Well, what's the song?
The song's Call Me Al.
Oh,
Shit! I do know that.
Do you know that one?
Good enough. I know it enough.
Yes. Well, and I also brought an instrument with me in case I wanted to do it. Yeah. But it's about, I don't know. Does anyone even care?
What's it about?
Paul Simon went to some party in France, and some French composer kept calling him Al, and then calling his wife Betty, and then he wrote a song about it.
Really?
That's the
Nice.
reason. Justin told me that. Justin Donahue.
How did Chevy Chase end up involved?
Well, I don't know that answer.
They were homeboys, and Paul Simon was on Saturday Night Live like a shitload of times back in the 70s.
Oh, really?
They're just good friends.
Oh, nice.
But the way the video started, Chevy Chase was going to be doing like all the dumb shit in the background that Paul Simon does.
Uh-huh.
But when the camera started and Chevy starts lip syncing the words, like that was totally freeform, and that's how they ended up doing.
awesome.
No kidding.
I remember being
That's
a
how
kid.
the magic happens.
I remember being a kid and being like, wow, I didn't know, because, I'd seen Chevy Chase's movies. I'm like, oh, this guy sings too. This is a cool song.
He could do the Three Amigos and this music video.
All right. So luckily you know this, and let me know.
All right, I think I got it.
All right.
Are you gonna skin flute with me?
I'm gonna skin flute with it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
A man walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life was so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. I don't want to end up in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger. Dogs in the moonlight, far away in my welded door. Mr. Beer Belly, get these mutts away from me. You know I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me Al. A man walks down the street, he says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little attention span, and whoa, my life took so long. Where's my wife and family? What if I die here? Who will be my role model now that my role model is gone? Duck back down the alley with some roly-poly little bat-faced girl. All along, there were incidents and accidents.
There were
hints
shots and allegations.
But if you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. If you call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. Call me out.
All right. Dude, no, that was so good.
Oh my god! Do you know it sounds so much better in the car? Oh my god, that's so
I
good.
think that was
It
fucking.
sounds so much better when I'm washing my balls and sitting in the shower.
Oh my god. I have never. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Good luck, guys.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. And I told you that was a deceptively difficult song. We got down the road together.
I felt good about it.
All right, James, what do you got?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Let Joe go first.
All right.
I can go first.
Why?
Because Jim gets worse than I do during it. So I want to build up.
You mean nervous?
Yes.
Can you see my armpits?
So I
sweating?
want you to be. I want Jim to be a little bit more nervous.
Oh, well, I appreciate it, Steve.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
I mean,
I can go.
if you want to go, or we can draw straws. You just go.
Okay.
I'll close the house down.
Are we gonna?
Love it.
Are we like Def Leppard? Are we? You all right?
Yeah, the mic's
Oh, it's tilting down.
Oh, it's sliding out.
It's like a limp dick.
It's like my penis.
It's like a limp dick microphone.
Okay, so I mean,
that's going to be a hard act to follow now. So.
absolutely. Jason, do you know any Weezer?
As a matter of fact. So another quick story about my lovely wife. For her 30th birthday, we had a surprise party for her, and I put a band together and we covered the whole Weezer Blue album from front
awesome.
to back
Oh, sick.
for her birthday because it's her favorite album.
That's pretty
And
awesome.
then we played a couple gigs like at Auto Bar and a couple other places, but the band name was Wiener.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And the show posters were the Blue album with like sausages instead of their heads.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Wiener.
Do you know anything off Pinkerton?
Yeah, I know a couple of the hits.
El Scorcho?
Scorcho.
Ay,
Are we good? You want to do that one?
Yeah, if you could do it. You think you got it in your repertoire?
Yeah, it might be a little sloppy, but I think we can do it.
I mean, I'm gonna sing sloppy, so I think it starts with a gargle. So I'm gonna load up here.
Oh shit, he's getting real.
I think the gargle starts before the music starts. So let's start this bitch off.
Fuck.
El Scorcho! Ay, caramba! Goddamn, you half Japanese girls do it to me every time. Oh, the redhead said you shred the cello, and I'm jello, baby. You won't talk, won't look, won't think of me. I'm the epitome of public enemy. Why you wanna go and do me like that? Come down on the street and dance with me. I'm alive like you, so please, hello. I'm here, I'm waiting. Oh, I think I'd be good for you, and you be good for me. I asked you to go to the Green Day concert. Said you never heard of them. How cool is that? So I went to your room and read your diary. Watch grunge legs drop New Jack through a press table. And then my heart stopped listening to Cho-Cho saying, fall in love all over again. I'm alive like you, so please, hello. I'm here, I'm waiting. Oh, I think I'd be good for you, and you be good for me. How stupid is it? I can't talk about it. I gotta sing about it and make a record of. How stupid is it? Won't you give me a minute? Just come to me and say hello. How stupid is it? For all I know, you want me to. And maybe you just don't know what to do. And maybe you're scared to say, I'm falling for you.
That was fucking good. Holy shit. That was
That was fun. That was super fun.
yeah.
That's a good sing-along one too that you picked there.
Thanks. So I knew Steve knew that, and I was hoping Steve was gonna get on the background vocals a little bit.
Come on,
Oh, I
Steve.
didn't want to. I didn't.
That's okay.
I didn't want to like.
He didn't want to do the gangbang.
Because you did it. You did it. And then
did,
I was
yeah.
like,
It sounded
I was like,
awesome.
sounded awesome. And
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not gonna ruin it. My moments. These episodes.
That was fun.
All right. Now the person who gets the most nervous.
excited.
Oh, okay. So I'm
And-
I'm picking this song. I ain't fucking nervous. I'm fucking gonna roll over it. But I'm picking this song because my 8-year-old daughter has been singing this fucking song over and over again. So I
I
thought,
hope I know it.
let me you know any songs that are popular among 8-year-olds? Teenage
It's got to be.
Dirtbag.
I thought it was gonna be a Slayer song.
Teenage Dirtbag.
Are
You know
you serious?
Teenage Dirtbag? You got that one?
Yes, I just
Fucking cool.
Just my wife just had me learn that for a gig recently. We do know that one, dude. That's crazy.
Because the other one was going to be Eminem's Superman, which is not exactly a
You know
guitar
what?
song.
It does have guitar in it, but I don't know that one.
Hold on.
Let me.
I gotta get that. I gotta get the high pitch going.
You guys can help Jimbo out. This is another like sing along.
This is
you guys like pick some sing alongs, some crowd pleasers.
We like to. We're
we
people
just,
of the people.
We just added 3 more songs to your set list.
Oh, I think we can go all night. All right, count me in again. Give me.
Here we go.
Her name is Noelle. I had a dream about her. She rings my bell. I got gym class in half an hour. Oh, how she rocks in kids and tube socks. But she doesn't know who I am, and she doesn't give a damn about. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Listen to Iron Maiden, maybe with me. Ooh. Her boyfriend's a dick, and he brings a gun to school, and he simply killed my ass if he knew the truth. He lives on my block, and he drives an eyebrow, but he doesn't know who I am, and he doesn't give a damn about me. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Listen to Iron Maiden, maybe with me.
There we
Another
go.
winner. That was super.
That
fun.
was awesome.
That was super fun.
That's like I'm ready to fucking go again.
Do you know any Britney?
So now, since we've all performed,
Oh,
up to Jason to decide.
Who gets to come up on stage with you and sing?
I think the best option here is a gangbang.
So he just said we all were great.
Yeah. Is there?
I think for us not rehearsing and just showing up, I think that went really well, actually.
It did go better than I thought it would go, honestly.
and it was nerve wracking leading up to it, and as soon as I started, the nerves went away. It was pretty funny how that happened.
Everyone, this Sunday at 7, go down to the Fish Head Cantina in Arbutus. You can fucking Google it. And Mr. Jason Butcher will have his album release. And it'll be given away. If somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I listen to Jim Joe Show," you better save a couple copies,
Oh, I got
even
it.
if they're
I got it.
if they listen to us, they're probably going to roll in late.
They get double price.
Double points.
You know what? And we can send a whole bunch of koozies with them too.
There you go.
Although you probably don't want to promote our shit at your show.
That'll be swag.
Yeah.
Lots of swag. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah,
This
dude, it was
super
awesome.
fun.
Thanks so
Guys,
much.
thank
was
you for
awesome.
having
You're
me.
such a fucking
Good
rock
time.
star that you can just play music.
I know, God, it
What a
sucks.
You
talent.
guys
You're
picked
so
the
good.
right songs. I don't know how that happened.
We
What a
just have that kind of
coincidence.
magic. It just happens here at the Jim Joe Steve Show.
All right. Well, follow us on definitely Instagram and Facebook and probably TikTok or whatever for some fun videos that are going to come out from the recording.
At Jim Joe Steve on all those platforms.
And maybe give us a call and sing any song that we sung better than us on our voicemail at.
856 the JJSS.
Yep.
Do you have any Facebook, Instagram things you want to plug?
Yeah.
I'm so terrible at marketing. There is a J Butch Better Days Instagram that I don't.
Go to J Butch.
Better
Better
Days
Days.
at Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Download the album at the very least. If you can't make the show, download the album. And just search Better Days in whatever place you get your music, and it's the only one with a bright red flower as a cover.
Very pretty cover.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's it for us for the Jim Joe Steve Show. My name's Joe,
I'm Steve.
I'm Jim.
Jason.
and we'll talk to you next week.
Don't know how I'm gonna do without your only woman when I'm not around. There's only one good way to get me down, oh yeah. And if you stay or go, it's all the same. You wasn't present, but you said you came. The same story, but a different game, and I've been playing for too long. So you might think you're special, baby, to you there is no doubt. And if I can't get next to you, I'd rather go without. And you got lady fingers, baby, I come straight for you. Tell me, what is it you want me to do? And tell me, what is it you want me to do? Keep on talking, I don't hear a thing.